most common way to break a bulb is that metal hitting a bulb. So we always say leave the shells on, plug it in first, and then remove the shells.
Yeah, come on.
If for say like this room, just so happens there is a pillow here with a pillowcase, we would need to take the pillowcase off.
Yes, because it won't go through glass, plastic, fabric, wood, so it's not going to go through there that has a green dot. That's because this thing pulls about 1,500 watts of electricity, and we've plugged into like conference rooms before that don't have this, and it'll short it. So make sure that you're plugging into either one with a green dot or a red, okay? Okay, now we can remove the shells, and we are going to position her, I call her, this so it looks like we're in the center of the room, and so that we have two of these pointed at the wall and not one straight on, like I mentioned. You can move.
Hello, my name is Tru D. I am here to achieve your disinfection goal. Let's get started. Please prepare the room for optimal disinfection and secure all entrances.
Go outside.
So Trudy, let's go. Tru D, but Trudy.
Trudy.
Trudy
Fruity.
No, nothing. We're going to put some wings on this thing or something.
Yeah, so we actually, that's where I was talking about the guy at St. Jude's that runs it, St. Jude's Children's in Memphis.
Yeah, hang on a second, I'll be out there.
Treats Trudy like it's his girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna look through, like you can watch Trudy running through the window. It's not gonna hurt your eyes. You don't want to be in the room when Trudy's running. Does anybody know what can happen if you're in the room?
We've seen it.
Yeah.
Okay, if you're in the room and Trudy's running, you could get conjunctivitis of the eyes in about 60 seconds, which is an itching and a burning, and you'll have to go to the ER and get some special drops for, you have to use for a week. The other thing that can happen is you get a severe sunburn in about 30 seconds because it's like standing next to the sun. So you don't want to go in a room while Trudy's running. Okay? Don't walk in the room while Trudy's running. Hence the, things that we have here that say danger, don't enter the room. Do you guys use the iPods? The door sensors?
The door sensors?
Yeah.
I don't know that we have those.
No, we don't.
You have door sensors in the bags that came with these.
Okay.
Is
that the kill switch on there?
It is.
Is that the kill switch?
Yes.
I was going to ask you.
So that is something we should probably.
When we go back downstairs, we'll locate them.
And it's super easy to activate those. You just hang it
Because
on the door.
it's a kill switch.
Yeah, there's also a suction so you can stick it on the door if there's not a place to hang it on the door. And all you do is just put it on there, and as long as on the iPad here there's a setting that we can go to, it says door sensor is in use, and we're going to make sure that that's on all the iPads so that every time it's going to ask you where's your door sensor.
The reason why she's saying that, because I was looking on the video and everything, is because if it senses a human being coming through there, and it'll do a kill switch on the Tru D, and it stops so you're not injured.
Yeah. So if
we're not using it, we're not protecting ourselves.
Exactly. Well, it's another method. Now the chains. There's also is there is a little icon here that has our little robot. And this is a cycle bit. Nobody else did. So we're going to go back. So right here, we're just going to. We've got Trudy in the room. She's in position. We're going to say connect. Okay, say you're on Wi-Fi. So this will happen occasionally. This thing will try to jump on the hospital Wi-Fi sometimes. And what you do is you go here and see it saying Methodist guest. It's trying to jump on your Wi-Fi here.
Right.
We want it to pick up the Trudy that's in the room.
Okay.
Right now. There it is. Okay, it just popped up. So we're going to tell it to go back there. Okay. We could also, if that pops up in there again, you can click on it and it'll say forget this network. Just hit that so it goes away. Okay. Or you can just wait for this to pop up and make sure that's what's connected there. So now we're connected, so now we can go back and hit our little icon here and say connect.
Attempting to connect to Tru D device.
There's no sound, just light.
Okay, so it's connected now. See, it says connected up there. And we're going to say now we're ready to disinfect the room. So, I don't know who all's in here. I'll pick Muhammad for now. 1, 2, 3, 4 is always the password for everybody to put in for that. Now hit your return. And then we can select the room. I don't know if
807.
It's in here. It's 10. There it is,
Okay.
almost there. Okay, so we're gonna say that's the room that we're doing. We're gonna say continue. Now we can choose here what we're disinfecting for. Pathogen, specific pathogen, or we can just say other spore. You always want to run spore. There's no reason for us to go into a room and say, let's just kill the bacteria and not worry about the many spores we got in the
Right.
That doesn't make sense. But doing that is meaning that we're adding time, because it doesn't take that long to kill bacteria. It does take a little longer to kill a spore because it has a hard outer shell. We want to break through that shell and get to the organism that's inside, which takes a little bit more time. By that I mean this room typically on a bacteria setting may take like 5 minutes, and if we're adding this it may take 2 minutes. But we're killing the spores. And then just hit continue. So now we've got this information in here. Here's our spore setting that we've got in here. Here's our room setting that's already in there. And then if we want to say the room is clear, we're ready to disinfect, hit check. Did we hear Tru D talk? We did, check. And then hit start. So now there's a 15-second countdown that's going to start. So that before those lights come on, it's saying
Get out of the room.
15 seconds to get out of the room. And we have people that say, oh, I left my phone in there. Or we've had nurses say, wait, let me get my shoes
We
in
left
there.
the
real
pillow.
quick."
We left the pillow in there.
Huh?
We left the pillow.
Oh, yes. So you could run back in and get it, and you could,
Okay, the light's on now. I see
Yep.
it.
So now the light's on. And people ask, sometimes does it matter whether the lights are on in the room or the lights are off in the room? Doesn't matter either way. It's not going to do anything as far as time having it on or off. Okay. I like to have them off because to me it's another kind of way to let people know that there's something going on in there. So I like to have them off, but it really doesn't matter. Okay. So it's calibrating now, and it says that here, it's calibrating. So here's what's different. If any of you ran Tru D on the old system, the old little thing, we updated the software.
Okay.
So in this calibration, it's showing us whether we have good placement here or not. The further you get over here into this yellow-green means your placement is going to be best, and it will actually tell us that down here that, hey, optimal success, good job. It's going to tell us in a minute because I'm right here at the yellow. It's going to give me a thing. Here we go. Device placement suggestion. Tru D is sensing very high output levels. Repositioning the device will have a little impact. Well, it says will have little impact. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to move it. You don't, and I'm showing you this for a reason, and we did it that way for a reason too. When you're going to go back in the room and reposition, do not hit abort.
Okay.
The reason you don't want to hit abort is you're going to completely start over this whole thing, and you're going to have to re-enter the room. You're going to have to re-enter everything. Those lights have been on now for 60 minutes, 60 seconds to 2 minutes. We get credit for this time it's run in the room, and Tru D's going to give us credit for that. So only hit pause. Lights just went off. Now I can go back in there and make sure you hear that it's halted. We're going to go back in.
So wait a minute before you go in. What's the time duration for the
yes.
pause?
So what? It's unlimited. It's going to stay
Until
on
you
pause.
hit resume,
Until I
it's
hit
gonna be
resume,
on. Okay,
until
so
I hit
you're not
resume.
on.
So here's the time that I got cycle time remaining. It gave me 14 minutes to sensors were in a good place. So now we're just going to say resume.
It still gives you
It's gonna
another
do the
15
15-second
seconds.
countdown to get out again. And then it's going to say calibrating, and you'll see, that lasts about 30 to 45 seconds while it's calibrating before it's going to come up with another time.
Now let me ask you something.
But see, look what we're going to start getting credit for this time. And we're going to get credit for time we already had, too.
Now, oftentimes we have to go and do the Tru D in the middle of the night because there's another patient coming in the middle of the night. Is there a volume set that we can change the volume
I'll
on
show you
that?
how to change
Okay,
it.
because it'll
Yeah.
disturb other patients.
Yes.
We like it, but
Yeah.
it'll disturb other patients.
No, I mean, we can switch that
Okay.
to really low volume.
Okay.
So it's recalibrating for us, and look, see our needles now more over this way. So we're going to get a better time now
Okay.
because we've got better placement. We're a little bit more further over there now. But yeah, the further you get this way, the better. So here's the other thing. These are your sensors. Okay?
Okay.
So if we're looking at this, sensor 6 and 7 are the two that are showing the highest here. If the closer you can get to having all of these hit that line the same, that's your best time. That's your best time.
Something's not, it's red.
6
so
and 7 are a little, yeah, and this one it's telling us is actually way below, so this is the one that's going to take the longest. That's what's adding time right now. Because if we could get this a little closer, even to the rest of these, then you know we've got everything kind of in balance here. So it came down to 13 minutes. As opposed to, I think we had 15 a minute ago, because by the time I went back in, it was 14. So we had a couple of minutes to take off there. So we're maybe like at 16, now we're at 13. So, you know, just moving it a little bit can make a change.
So let me ask you, what